Hi everyone! Today I'm gonna tell you about my experience going to Malaysia. This is episode 1. At first, I want to make this video in Thai, but I realized I also have foreign friends. If I make the video in English, this will also help me practice. I can write the script in English and then check it so I can spot my mistake and keep improving. I also feel that my Thai speaking voice is quite monotone compared to English. That might make my video boring, so I think using English is total win-win. Even though I have almost finished the video in Thai, I just have to change the script and edit it again. So, first off, I have to tell you that I went when I was in my final year of high school. That is when you're supposed to be studying for university entrance exams, right? I went right after taking the exam called NETSAT. Maybe you don't know, but it doesn't matter because I was already planning to go to Khon Kaen University and my score were pretty decent. My teacher, our priest, who I call father, suggested I go study English in Malaysia. I was basically free after the exams, just waiting for the university to start. Honestly, father has talked about this study trip before, saying anyone with good enough scores could go. And I really want to go. I saw it as a way to challenge myself, get out of my comfort zone, and travel abroad to gain some experience. I have talked to mom and dad about it, but back then it seemed like they didn't really want me to go. I totally understood because they needed to save money for my university tuition. But then, after the score came out, father asked me again if I wanted to go. I initially said no, sticking to the reason I've talked about with mom and dad. But father told me this is a great opportunity to study English abroad. Money shouldn't be that big of a problem for my family. Go ask them one more time. And get this, my own dad was so happy that day. He was like, whatever I want, just ask. So yeah, everyone, I got to go in the end. Father handled everything for me, the school application, the accommodation, and booking the round trip flight. The total cost was around 50,000 baht. I should mention that I went for 4 weeks. Father originally wanted me to go for 6 weeks, so I would come back just in time for the university interview, but because I didn't get a visa, the maximum I could stay was 1 month. I had about a week and a half to get ready before leaving for Malaysia. It was a crazy busy time. I had to get a new passport, get notarized letters of consent from both mom and dad for me to travel because I was not yet 18. Finish up a school project, pack my bags, check my portfolio for university application. I had my sister cut my hair, and dad bought me a new phone. My old one, which I had used since 7th grade, didn't support the eSIM I need in Malaysia. It seemed chaotic. The day I left, I was super nervous because this was my very first flight. I really focused on everything father was teaching me during the trip because fun fact, I had to fly home by myself. We started by flying from Udon Thani to Don Mueang and then from Don Mueang to Kuala Lumpur. On the second flight, I started seeing mostly foreigners. When we landed in KL, I was so excited. It was a massive airport and literally no one was speaking Thai around us. Father took me to buy an eSIM at the airport. My debit card, which my dad gave me, wouldn't work. So, father had to pay for it. Next, we called a Grab taxi. The first one we called took forever, and the driver was hard to communicate with. The airport has many levels. He came to the wrong floor even though we clearly said we were on level 1. Father called and cancelled, then called the new one. The ride into the city took about an hour. I remember the car smelled a bit musty or something. Anyway, we finally arrived at my accommodation, Casa Mutiara. I had to find a key following the hint they gave me, and I needed to show the guard a photo. The problem was my new phone, the one I just bought yesterday, didn't have the photo father had sent me. I was still learning how to use it. It's true story, but I think I end up using a tablet to show the guard the picture I had saved. The guard let us in. We found the key in the mailbox and then we went up the lift. I was on the 17th floor. My room had 3 layers of doors and 3 different keys, so I spent a while fumbling with them. After dropping off my luggage, Father walked me to school, so I knew exactly where it was. We walked all around the area, and he showed me where to eat and the money exchanger with the best exchange rate. Then we went to buy dinner. This time, my debit card worked because my dad had actually gone to the app and fixed the settings. Otherwise, I would have had to be super careful with my limited cash. We walked back to the apartment, and I called a Grab for Father because he was flying back to Thailand that very day. He just came to drop me off. After that, I went up to my room. I unlocked the front door, and then something unexpected happened. Meeting the roomie! I met my roommate. She walked out of her room, probably because he heard the door opening. We had to speak English. She is Japanese. Her name is Wakako, and she is 22. After we talked and introduced ourselves, she showed me the common areas, the kitchen, where everything was, etc. She was so nice and helpful. Then we went to our separate rooms. I ate my dinner and gave my family an update on everything. That day, I was so dizzy from the 2 flights, the musty Grab car, and all the elevator rides, that I fell asleep right away. I had a placement and speaking test the next morning, so I messaged Wakako to ask what the speaking test was like so I could prepare. The next morning, I woke up at 6:30 to study and prepare for the test. A real morning miracle start. I walked it to school and found something to eat. Ham and cheese bread from a 7-Eleven. The school is on the 3rd floor of a building. I got there early and sat down, filled out some forms, and paid the deposit, which was 1,221 ringgit if I paid by card. Father had given me $300 for the deposit, but I didn't understand the process, so I ended up paying myself. They will refund it later, though. Then they took me to do the written test. It has multiple choice grammar questions, fill in the blanks, part of speech, and a writing part. For the writing, they asked me to describe what I did last week. After the test, I waited for my speaking test. I was the first up. They asked me things like where I was from, why I wanted to study English here, and a few other questions to place me in the right afternoon class. They also had me rate my own English skills, how confident I felt in different skills. Once I was done, they had an orientation for all new students. They showed slides about the school's information, expensive and cheap malls, the school stuff, and then give us a tour of the campus, where the restrooms were, what each area was for, etc. Then they took us outside to show us places to eat, the shopping malls, how to travel around, and the market. For lunch, Wakako invited me to eat with her at the mall. I had Korean food that day with her and some new friends. After lunch, I went back for my afternoon class, which was General English. I was in the same class as Wakako. A little spoiler, the morning classes are for grammar. I got placed in the intermediate level, or B1 plus. It has a lot of Japanese students. About the classes, they let you try it out first. If it's too hard, you can move down, or if it's too easy, you can move up. It's totally up to you. They only give you the textbooks once you are happy with your class placement. The school also offers counseling for things like homesickness and culture shock. The classroom rules are pretty basic. No phones, and if you're more than 15 minutes late, don't interrupt the class. Just come back after the break. That's all I can remember. Also, this school has a constant flow of students. New students arrive every Monday and every Friday. Some friends leave to go back to their countries. It just depends on when they start and how long they sign up for. Some for just 1 week, others for a year. That evening, I immediately went sightseeing, starting with the mall near my apartment. I went with my two Japanese friends. Everything was expensive, so I went back to shopping at the convenience store instead. Then I checked out the walking street near the school to buy food for the next day. Later that evening, I had dinner with my roommate at a roti shop next to the apartment. That first day at school, I met so many new people from so many countries, with so many different names and ages. Honestly, I can barely remember the names of everyone I said hi to. It was all just a jumble of new sounds. It was a lot of fun, though.